Okay, today I am planning a video that I want to make and potentially some articles. So I just need a pen and I'm going to just kind of start thinking and writing as I speak. It's about how to, I wish you could see this, but whatever. How to find your purpose. And then a sub thing, like a separate thing that I'm writing, which will also be about how to find your purpose through human design. But it's not necessarily going to be about human design. It is and it isn't. Okay, so first thing is first, I'm going to open my notes on my computer. Hopefully they have synced. Because I wrote some new notes about... I don't think they've synced. Anyway, I wrote some new notes about this concept. And there are two places I want to start, which I know is kind of the antithesis of what a start even is, because a start is one thing. But I want to start with two things. The first thing I want to start with is a story about my own pursuit of purpose. My own pursuit of purpose. The second place I want to start is, I guess I've forgotten that, so maybe we're just going to start with my own pursuit of purpose. Cool. So when I was a kid, there was this little, okay, no, I remember now. The second place I want to start is the core of your being knows everything you need to know. So when I was a kid, I remember a few different times where I would kind of just have this knowing that there's something in this life for me. I'm meant to do something, or I'm meant to be something, there's just something in this life that is meant for me. And one of these moments, just this sort of knowing came in, and it was basically saying, I'm going to be very well known, and that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like I'm just going to be very well known. There's nothing I can do about it. It's either going to be for something good or for something bad. As in, I will be liked or not liked. And within that, there was this sort of, just because I'm liked doesn't mean I did something good. Just because I'm not liked doesn't mean I did something bad. There is a sort of playground of exactly how I want to be, or how I can be perceived. There was this knowing that at some point in my life I'm going to be well known for something, and it was very unemotional. It wasn't like I wasn't really excited by this. It was kind of like, okay, now I have a job to do. I have some work to do. I need to really figure out what I'm going to be doing and what I'm going to be known for, because if I don't, then it will be something unconscious, and it will be something that is based on just trauma or whatever the things are. This is water, by the way. So that leads me to the sort of the other place I want to start, which is just I kind of had this, without really realizing it, what I knew about myself, what I knew about purpose as well, is that unless it's sought after, it's going to be veiled behind many layers of conditioning. So those layers could be, I'm going to draw this out now. There's the very core of your being knows everything you need to know. And when you're a kid, you know this as well. When you're a kid, you really feel this. When you're a kid, you have just innate desires, and there's nothing you can do but yearn for them and live alongside those desires. And it's society and life and parents and everything that kind of puts barriers around you, which is necessary. You can't just have unbridled primal desire all the time. It's fine sometimes, obviously. Anyway, yeah, you have this sort of knowing as a kid, and you just kind of go for stuff. You know what you don't like, you know what you like to a point, to an extent. You don't really, but you kind of feel like you do. And then you get shown new things, and you learn more about yourself, and so then you go into the stage of questioning everything you know. And as you question everything you know, you're like, well, damn, maybe I can't trust myself. Maybe I don't know who I am. Maybe I don't have all the answers for myself. And then past that point is the coming back to, no, actually, I do know who I am. I do know what I like. I do know what I don't like. I know how I like to experience new things, all that kind of stuff. So there's this core of you, and then there's like the first layer of conditioning, which is just kind of protection. It's safety. It's survival, really. Which is why it's potentially one of the hardest sort of barriers to break through, to listen to your inner knowing. It's the mind's kind of last resort is, you're going to die if you don't do this. It's what the mind will always, at the end of any logical sequence, if you're stopping yourself from doing something that you really want, it's generally the mind is telling you you're going to die if you do it or don't do it. The next kind of ring around the core of your being, or barrier to sort of being able to hear the core of your being, to be able to pursue your purpose, is emotional baggage, emotional traumas, emotional things that are based on sort of believing the survival, the things that were there to keep you alive, believing whatever lies were told in order to keep that happening, believing whatever truths were told as well, and just feeling emotionally dependent on the feeling of feeling good or the feeling of feeling bad. What do I mean by this? What do I mean by this? So what's happened right now is I am aware that the emotional world is a ring around the core of your being. It's not the core of your being. Your emotions are not the core of your being. But I don't know if that's the right order. I think there might be something before that. And I also think that it's kind of unnecessary to lay out every single ring. Maybe different for everyone. One thing I'm learning. Cool. Anyway, there are different rings, ultimately. That's kind of where I'm getting at. There are different barriers to hearing the very core of your being, but the core of your being knows, and it knows that it knows. And the more you can get in touch with that, the smoother the experience of finding your purpose will be. So I want to go now into this concept of what you're working for, and work in association to purpose. So in my own experience, I've had a few jobs. I've never lasted in a job for too long, but I've had a few jobs, and every job I've had has felt like a huge waste of my time. And I've never known why, but I've always kind of just known that it's a waste of my time. And I've prioritized that feeling of me knowing that it's a waste of my time because of this knowing that I will be well known. So I kind of go into a job and I ask myself, do I want to be well known at the end of this road? So if I'm working in a hardware store, do I want to be well known owning a hardware store, or being a CEO of some brick and mortar company and blah, 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 chain, blah, 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 whatever the end of that road could be? Do I want to be well known in that regard? No. The answer was no. So I just couldn't find the motivation to continue to like work in that. And this wasn't a conscious experience, by the way. I wasn't like thinking, I'm going to be well known in this. It was just a feeling and inner knowing that I wasn't supposed to be here. I wasn't meant to be doing this. I couldn't keep doing this for too long. I think I worked there for maybe 3 to 6 months. And all of this isn't to say that if you're working a job you don't like and you feel like you shouldn't be there, that and you've been working there for 5 years, it's not to say that you've wasted your time. I don't want that to be the lesson gained. I think it's more so what I want to express is that it's important to trust that inner knowing if you have it. And if you don't have it but you just sort of feel antsy, then maybe you do. Anyway, next phase after you sort of work these jobs that you don't like. So actually I should explain this first phase a bit more. The thing that sort of marks the first phase is that you're doing this work for the validation of other people or for the approval of other people, or it's for other people. You're not doing it for yourself. You're not doing it because you want it. You're doing it because either you need to do it to survive, or you actually need to do it to survive, not you think you need to do it to survive. Like you actually need to do it to survive, which in those situations is actually quite purposeful. Those jobs, I've had a job like that, and it did feel very purposeful. But as soon as I didn't need it to survive anymore, I quit. So anyway, if you're doing a job because, say, your parents were like, you need to do a job, you need to have a job, you need to do blah 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 blah. That's not a bad thing. It's not bad. I'm just sort of laying out this sort of finding a purpose thing. So you'll be working this job and it won't be for you. It won't really be for you. So there'll be this sort of feeling in the back of your head. You might enjoy the work. You might love the people, whatever it is. But there will always be this little knowing that there's more for you. There's another path. There's another life. And the life will always be there. It's always going to be there. So it's not like you can run out of time until you do. It's really just a matter of deciding to trust yourself or not. So the next phase, after you sort of accept or realize that you're doing this for other people, is you do something and you might invest in yourself. You might learn something. You might have been learning stuff that you do really care about in this job. Or in school. School could also be like study, could be a job in this first phase. But ultimately, you're going to invest some amount of your energy or time and money into learning or developing yourself in something that you want to do, in something that feels important to you. And in doing that, you have a transformation, and it's in the investing of it where you have a transformation, and you become connected to, okay, so this is the road that if I get to the end of this road, I could see myself being successful and happy, whatever that means to you at the time. So what did that look like for me? For me, what that looked like is studying mastering, and I saw this road. I'd been making music on the side. I'd been very obsessed with it, and working some random jobs here and there. Making music, and then I studied mastering, and that was what sort of took me from where I was musically to being like, I could actually do this as a career at some capacity. And to me, that was being a mastering engineer. And then I realized pretty quickly that I didn't actually want to be a mixing or mastering engineer for too many people, because that's not really what I love. I didn't love mastering. I loved being able to finish my songs. I loved that. But what I loved more was empowering other people to do the same thing, empowering other people to finish their own music and create music as well. Specifically, what I'm finding is people that have some sort of expertise outside of music that want to transition into music, where music is their first sort of, or they've always wanted to do music, but they haven't quite found their avenue in. I love being the avenue into music. That's something I'm realizing. But anyway, we're getting sidetracked. This investment into yourself sort of puts you on the trajectory, and it's very clear that at some level, this sort of general direction is your purpose. And then here is where, for me, human design came in. But really, the lesson doesn't have to have anything to do with human design. Human design came in and basically showed me that outside of all of that stuff, the only thing that really matters is just being able to listen to yourself and being able to trust yourself, being able to trust whatever elements that is, whether that be your relationship to the universe, or that your relationship to your heart, your relationship to your gut, your relationship to the people in your life that trust you, or that you trust, and the way that you speak around them. Your relationship to who you are around different people, your relationship to the environment that you're in and how you feel in the environment, your relationship to just your calmness or nervousness. All these different factors, all these different things, just becoming very aware of what you can trust and what you can't trust within yourself and within your environment. As I've gone on this journey with human design, I've realized that I love working from home, meaning I love being in my home, I love being in my area, and then inviting people into it and working together in that capacity. I love going out to have like coffee or lunch and having long conversations. I love that. Most people probably do. I don't love going places that mess up my sleep schedule. I don't love I love being in my own routine that I get to set for myself. But anyway, this is all stuff I'm learning in the pursuit of alignment to me, which is the third phase. So you have working for someone else, working for validation, working to just like get some level of experience in doing. Then the transition into educating yourself or investing in yourself to become closer to something that you have a desire to learn, to the point that you would invest in it, to the point that you would give and risk something. And then you have this phase of deeply letting go of all of it and trusting and guiding yourself along a journey of alignment, finding alignment. So the question of how do I find my purpose, to me now becomes, how do you know who you are, or how do you trust yourself, full stop. And once you know how to trust yourself, every step, every day becomes perfect, for lack of a better term. Every day becomes what it needs to be in order to lead you along a path that is perfect for you. So it's not that I know my purpose, but I don't care about my purpose anymore. I feel very strongly that I am slowly putting in place all of the things that need to be there in order to end up in a place where I'm very satisfied with my life. And that's kind of I think that's the extent of what anyone could ask for. Maybe replace satisfied with a different, successful or surprised or peaceful or excited, whatever the word is. Yeah, I'm seeing now the things and the patterns that will most likely be consistent from this point on, which are when I'm not in alignment, I am out of a schedule, I feel like I have no time. When I'm in alignment, I feel like I have a lot of time. People and things come to me very easily. I am excited by the things I get to do every day, and I can sleep in the same bed, I can wake up in the same bed, I can sleep and wake up at around the same times. I'm excited to wake up, and I have very clear work to do. I have very clear projects that I'm working on, and I know when they end, or they are daily, and like this YouTube video every day, or going to the gym every day, infinite games. Anyway, this has been my kind of rough sketch of an idea of how to find your purpose. So I'm just like the tutorials and like the how to watch long form content and a bunch of other videos that I've made. I plan on sort of redoing these videos at a later point when I have a little bit more of a refined approach to YouTube. Like I'd love for this to be a whiteboard video one day, and maybe with a better set, not a messy bedroom. Not that it's too messy, but it's not the neatest. Yeah. Thanks for watching if you watched it this far, and let me know in the comments if there's anything that you think I missed, or if there's anything that you've experienced along this journey. There's definitely some sort of visuals that I would love to start incorporating and stuff, but I won't yet. Yeah, I think that's everything. All right, thanks guys, bye.